The night was quiet, but the tension was thick. I stood hidden behind the tall grasses, my heart pounding as I watched the prince and the girl. The prince, handsome and strong, had come to our village. Everyone knew he was searching for a bride, but he seemed different. He didn't want the fancy girls from the palace. No, his eyes were set on Amina, the village girl who sold flowers by the river. Amina was beautiful in her simplicity. She laughed easily and her smile lit up even the darkest days. I had seen her picking wildflowers, her hands gentle as she arranged them. The prince saw her too. One day, he approached her while she was walking, his royal robes contrasting sharply with her simple dress. "What brings you to the river, my lady?" he asked, a soft smile on his lips. Amina looked surprised but smiled back. "I gather flowers to sell at the market," she replied. I felt a strange mix of happiness and fear. Amina was kind, and she deserved joy, but the prince came from a world of power and wealth. Would he truly care for her? Days turned into weeks. The prince visited Amina often. They shared stories, laughter, and dreams under the stars. I watched them grow closer, my heart both warmed and troubled. The village murmured. Some were excited, others worried. A common girl and a prince. It was unheard of. One evening, the sky darkened with clouds. I stood by the river, unsure whether to watch or leave. Suddenly, a loud shout pierced the air. It was the king's guards, angry and shouting. They had come to take the prince back to the palace. "Come with us," they yelled, pulling him away from Amina. Amina looked frightened. "Wait. Please," she cried out, but the guards dragged him, their grips tight and harsh. The prince turned back, his eyes filled with sorrow. "I will come back for you," he shouted, but the guards would not listen. They took him away, and Amina sank to the ground, tears streaming down her face. The village was silent. I felt the weight of the moment. Amina was heartbroken, and the prince was gone. Days passed, but the joy in Amina faded. She returned to selling flowers, but her laughter was gone. Weeks later, the prince did return, but he came with a choice, to choose Amina or obey his father's wishes to marry a princess. The village held its breath, waiting for his answer. In the end, love won. The prince chose Amina. They stood together, hand in hand, ready to face whatever came next. The village cheered, and I realized that true love could bridge any gap, even between a prince and a simple flower girl.